Hello, YouTube. It's Silver Age Dave. I'm in the comic room. And it just occurred to me maybe I should say that again once there's other people in here with me actually in the comic room. I start every video that way. I've just done it. I don't know why I do that, but that's what I do. And here I am. Today is Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day for those of you playing New Comic Book Day game. That's okay if you are. I'm going to click on, let's see here, I'm going to click on the video so I can see what's going on in the chat. Thank you to anyone who watches. I've had a few videos. I had a little flurry a couple weeks ago of videos, and then I got real busy. I got into a high mileage running week, and then I did one the other day. Lots of people supportive of the channel. Some of them are in here right now. Look at that. We've got Grotto Orloff, who's been busy on YouTube. Nice to see you, Grotto. Lawrence from the King of Comicdom. Nice to see you, my friend. Felix, I've seen you around the community. Always a good friend of the channel. I appreciate you. Kevin Taylor, hello, my friend. Nice to see you. I am going to turn this particular box just a little bit here. I changed up part of the comic room. I wanted to see more stuff. I had previously one of the Walmart exclusives Marvel boxes sitting here, and then I couldn't see the Star Wars stuff because I had other books in front of it, and I thought, holy smokes, Batman, I got to change that. So now I can see my my Millennium Falcon back there and the X-Wing fighter, and I've got R2 and Boba Fett, and I got a land speeder. And for those of you who are nearly as old as Silver, you certainly remember when that stuff was in the theaters for the first time. I was reflecting just the other day how powerful a life experience that was. Sitting in my dad, he had a little Ford station wagon, and I remember it like it was yesterday. My cousin and his dad, both are deceased now, but they happened to be over. They told us what a great movie it was, and I remember riding to the movie theater and seeing that for the first time. So just incredible. But for the purpose of today's video, I'm going to turn this box sideways, and I am going to put these bad boys up here. And Funk Comics is in here. Thank you, Funk Comics. It looks like we got 11, 12 people. That's really great. The number's going down, so I'm boring people already. Must be some Star Trek fans out there hanging up. They don't want to hear that Star Wars talk. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, it's a work day, and I certainly appreciate sometimes you can take a lunch like good old Silver's doing, and sometimes you can't. And I appreciate that. So as I say in every video, for those of you who can watch live, love having you. If you watch it on the rewind, like the great legend used to say, love having you that way. And if you just can't watch the video, then I still appreciate you because life's busy. We can't just watch 24 hours a day of YouTube, even though I would like to do that. Southern Comic Geek, very entertaining live stream he had. I watched it this morning, but he had it yesterday. He had a great Batman pickup, Batman number 8, if my memory serves me properly. And he had some other cool books he picked up. In fact, let's start there with that one. That's where we're going to start today, folks. Kevin Taylor reminiscing about the amazing opening scene for Star Wars. Yeah, one low tone, right? That was terrific. Omega Comics is in here. Nice to see you, my friend. Dan, thank you so much. I'm glad to have you in here. Mike R201. R2D2 might as well change that channel name. We're talking Star Wars, Mike. Just kidding. I love it. Have I seen Old Guard on Netflix? No, I have not. But I'm so excited to see that it is being made into a TV show. I hope they do it right, because I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell the story of the Old Guard in a little bit for Regie Collects. Regie showed off a copy of this yesterday on his video, and I told him that I was going to share my story of the old guard, and so that one I'm going to do for Reggie. But we're not going to start with that one. I'm going to put this back here so it's balanced. I don't need anything falling over today. More excitement in the comic room is not necessary. So I'm looking forward to seeing it though, Kevin. Absolutely. And H-Town Comics is in here. Hello, sir. And another, as long as I'm doing that early shout out for who I call the big dogs, people like Regie, and I'm going to throw Comic Tom in there, and Bueller, and I know I'm missing some people. So listen, you get what you pay for. Silver's got a bad memory. As I think of big dogs, those are three of the ones that are way, way, way up there in comic community. As I think I said to Southern Comic Geek today, those guys are the gateway for a lot of young collectors, and I kind of missed out a little. I don't know if Jim Comics is still doing his thing regularly, but Jim Comics, all of us started around the same time. Bueller came a little later. Regie was a YouTuber, then was gone, then started back during a time when I was taking a little mental break. I have some memory issues still, and I had made a few mistakes, and I just took a YouTube break, and all these guys just did a great job. So I'm a fan of all of them for the energy and the commitment they make to comics and to the hobby. Love them or not, I love them. Great commitment. Making videos is not easy. So yesterday I watched Comic Tom's. He had a top 10, and he showed this book. And if you happen to watch some old Silver Age Dave videos, you're going to see me specking on this book, which I absolutely loved, and you're going to see me specking on this book, which I absolutely love. So I'm happy to see both of those getting some street creds with Netflix, and I don't know who does this. Maybe Amazon does Lazarus, but very, very happy with it. So Comic Tom, thanks for showing that one. Reggie, thanks for showing that one. More to come on that front, okay? So I was watching, let me say a couple hellos real quick. Comic Mag Musings is in here. Always a pleasure to see you. Stanables is in here. Stanables does a lot of live streams. I sometimes run and listen to stuff, and always enjoyable. And I think I'm caught up with everyone. Funk Comics, I'm sure I said hi to, but I'm going to give you the double hi from Silver. Okay, so boring background, but I was watching another big dog who's Alex the Comic Hoarder. One of my early inspirations for making videos was this young whippersnapper named Alex the Comic Hoarder. Hopefully you've heard of him. And he was showing off some of these Walmart packs that he bought. Well, yesterday on his live stream, Southern Comic Geek opened up, and he had a couple of these Wonder Womans that showed up in his pack, and I had commented on his video that I was cheating a little bit because mine were on the cover. So these were easy ones to pick up. But Alex Comic Hoarder said he bought his packs basically for these, and everything else was a bonus. I still don't know if you're supposed to open these or not. You get 4 comics in there. I generally don't open them. I did get some Spider-Verse things, but I generally leave them in the wrapper. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with them. So great covers though. If you have a Walmart and those are on the cover, I think that's worth the price of admission, right? I think Southern Comic Geek, that's the issue that you were showing off, and I think that's what Alex Comic Hoarder was showing off. And maybe my eyesight's bad too, and that's the wrong issue. But it's Wonder Woman 755. Beautiful. And we'll do a Bubs shout out. Look at the detail on the lasso. That's great detail on the lasso. If Bubs happens to show up, that's how Bubs does it. And he is a funny guy. And I appreciate that. Hey, we've got Bat Avenger in the house. Nice to see you, Bat Avenger. Bat Avenger, I'm going to do a community shout out or a community post after I'm done here. Bat Avenger had a great video he put up late last night. Last night I was running in the rain from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. And when I arrived back, I jumped in the pool for a little bit, and and then I was watching Bad Avenger, and just a joy to see Bad Avenger video. He's doing, I think, more Instagram right now, but that's okay. One of the most knowledgeable and kind guys in the community. So thank you, Bad Avenger, for that. I appreciate it. I do love dinosaurs. Absolutely, I love them. You are hardcore, Dave, running in the rain in the middle of the night. Absolutely. My race is about a month from now, and you have to get used to a lot of things to be able to survive one of these 100-mile ultra marathons. And one of the things is getting used to running with a headlamp, and you also carry a side light to try to illuminate, because you're not running on a road. You're running on very primitive trails, tree roots, rocks. If it's raining, you've got mud and slippery stones. So you got to get used to that stuff. So from here for the next month, I've already done all my heat training. So for the next month, I'm going to do a lot of middle of the night runs. And, you run for 24 hours or more. So if you're not used to running at night when you're tired, you're going to bomb out of the race. So there you go. Backseat driver. Hey, replay is fine. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Love Bad Avenger videos. Absolutely. He is so cool. You got it all. So backseat driver. Yesterday I was watching Regie Collects, one of my favorite guys. Talk about a class act. And he's got these great videos he does, and he's so knowledgeable about so many things. I wish Regie Collects would get fired, and then the only company that would hire him would be here in Holy Toledo, Ohio. And then he'd have to move here with his lovely family, and we would hang out all day, and we'd be best friends, and that would be awesome. But actually, I'm not going to wish any of that. Reggie's got a great path for himself. He's probably going to be the star in some Marvel movie one of these days. What a good-looking guy, talented, great skills of oration, and I'm a fan. If it's not coming through, I'm a giant fan. So, hey, there you go, Matt Woods. Perfect time for a lunch break. That's what I say. From the time I wake up in the morning, when's my lunch break? So I'm glad you're here to join us. So, my collection, okay, and I'm going to comment on a couple things. I'm also going to throw the name Thorough out there, because I do watch quite a bit of Keep It Thorough videos, and I've said for a long time, in my opinion, I've never made money selling a comic book. Part of the way you get 35, 40,000 comic books is you don't sell them. Sometimes you're between a rock and a hard place, and if it comes down to your family or your comic collection, that is an easy one. Comics must go. And I've been fortunate in life. I've had lots of breaks, but I've never been in a position, other than once, where I had to sell comics. And I remember the comics I've sold, but for the most part, I've bought comics. Thorough on his show the other day said something to the extent that when you sell comics, it can work out bad for you. And that's been my experience. Is the stuff I've sold, I always miss it. And even worst case scenario, if you want to read a series again later and you don't have them, then I don't know if you make money selling comics. But anyway, there we go. I moved off to the side. And so let's talk about speculation, because there's a lot of speculation that happens in the community. Sometimes it works out great, sometimes it doesn't. That's just how it is. And you need to be the boss of you. You need to decide for yourself what you're buying and what you're deciding on. In both of these cases, I read the book. Now I don't currently go to comic book stores on Wednesday morning, but for a long time, I have a local comic book store who they opened at 10 a.m. Well, they were letting me in the store at 8:30. And so I was the only one in the store. I had an hour at least just to myself, and I could go through and I could pick out the very best of the best. And I wouldn't clean out the rack if there was a good book, but I got an early access. So, hello, Paulo. Nice to see you. Raven is in here. Nice to see you. And so what happened to me particularly on this book is I went into my comic store. I was picking up a variety of different things. I couldn't tell you what I was picking up in February of 2017. That was so awfully important. But I saw this. They only had 5 copies. And so I bought one. And by 9 a.m. on that Wednesday, I came back. I sat down. I found this to be interesting. And keep in mind, I'm East Coast time zone. But I read this comic first. Again, I thought it was interesting. I'm a Rucka fan, and I like the Fernandez program here. And so I read that book. As soon as I started reading it, I was hooked. I read that thing so quickly, I put it down and I called my LCS and I said, hey, do you have any more of these? And they said, well, Dave, we only got 5. We can't set one aside for you. And I said, okay, can you order more? And they said, no, it's sold out. It was maybe a small print run. And so by the time my other LCS, we have 5 of them here, by the time they opened up, I had hit all of them and I had bought 1 copy from each of them, but I was also on eBay and I clobbered eBay. So what I'm going to do for Regie Collects, we have 3 9.8s here, and I'm going to give you a window into how Sil Rage Dave does it. And this might be a video that is very boring. Sorry for that. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat, and I'm going to keep maybe telling stories. Looks like Matt Woods is on 42nd hour of a 72-hour fast. Good for you, buddy. That is a big deal. Clear the mind. You know, that's what fasting does. You know, I'm Catholic, and from a religious side of things, it gives you a purification when you fast. So let me put some of these over here. Okay, let me see now. All right, so back to the story. So what I did is I went on eBay. Let's see. Yeah, hey, I am sorry that you can't click on the little thing anymore. I'm going to hold my chat up. You can't click on that little dot anymore and sub someone up. So you actually have to type in their channel name, which is a drag. Hopefully it protects kids. And, you know, and that's all good. Hey, speaking of kids, I got to do my COPA warning. So I'm going to go with this one. Okay. No fighting, no spitting, no drinking, no gambling, no bare feet, no kiddos. Okay. It's a video for grown-ups. Comic books are clearly very boring. There's nothing about superheroes that any kid would want to pay attention to. Nothing I'm talking about anyway. So if you're under 18, come back later. Sil Rage Dave cares about you, but come back later, and hopefully I'll still be around later, right? So, hey, thanks for that, H-Town. Never boring. Slim Comics is in here. Slim Comics, awesome community member from Heroes to Icons. Oh, yeah. Nice to see you. I did get your email, I think, if memory serves me. So that stuff will be happening. All right. So I went on eBay and I said, not only do I love this book, what we had in my mind is we had a great story. We had great art. If you haven't seen or read Old Guard, you can still get it very affordably. But you had very strong female lead characters, powerful minority characters, and it was all the things that I love, and none of it was forced. It was a cool story. All of it worked together without any type of manipulation. I was able to do with this comic book what I used to love doing, which is getting lost in the fantasy of it, getting lost in the in the storytelling and in the artwork. So I immediately went to eBay and I started buying these. So I'm just going to flip through these as we go. Not all of these are going to be 9/8, but they're all going to be 9/6s or 9/8. So what I do as a collector of multiples is I try to put myself in a position, if I love something, that I will have lots to pass down. Okay, now this particular one I have Gem Mint CGC. Gem Mint is another guy. How did I not name Gem Mint? Another big leader in the comic community. And so that one I have Gem Mint. If there was ever going to be a 10-0, that's the one that I think would be a 10-0. I do label them sometimes. So did I say hi to Simon? See, that's how bad my memory is. I know I said hi to Slim Comics. Hi, Simon R. Nice to see you. So what I try to do is if I think something is really, really cool, I will buy a couple of them. This one I have a Mint Plus on it. So that one I think is a good one. And some of these are in poly, some of them are in Mylar. And at some point you got to send these in because, you know, if there's value, they're more valuable when they're graded than when they are not graded. So at some point you might have to send them in. So here I am, it's like the morning, I'm on the East Coast, and most people in the country have, one, probably not even woken up yet, but most people on the East Coast at 9 in the morning, 9:30 in the morning, their LCS is not even open yet. And so this is a funny one. Look, the one. So that one I think would be a 10.02. If there's a 10.1 out there, that's the one, guys. The one. Like I'm Neo from the Matrix, right? So I'm on eBay, and literally, not only do I have a copy of this in my comic room, not only have I read it and fallen deeply in love with the story and the art and the characters and the fantasy of it, I've seen that it's something that can be developed for production. It's a reasonable size cast. It's not like you know, you need a whole huge cast. But on top of all that stuff, let me set some of these back here. On top of all that stuff, I'm the only one. Okay? No one else knows how great this is. All right? I sound like Jack Nicholson in As Good as It Gets, right? He's the only one that recognized how great Helen Hunt was. And so I'm on eBay literally between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. and I'm buying everything I could. If a store had 5 copies, I bought 5 copies. I food begged people to send me the best copies. But these were selling, at that point it was a $3.99 cover, and these were selling for $3.99. Now, there is a big stack here, okay? Admittedly so, these things might be ending up in a dollar bin, okay? And I might have seen some of these in a dollar bin, I don't know. But the Silver Age mind is a broken mind. My Silver Age Dave mind is a broken mind. I will be the first to admit it. I am compulsive about things. And so when I see something and I think this is good, then I want to get it. And again, there was no competition. It's when we talk about eBay, when we talk about comic book collecting, it is very, very rare that you're going to be in a situation globally that, hey, Tiger Fist, nice to see ya. Gotta run for lunch, but we'll watch later. Thank you for saying hello. I really love that. Hey, and you know what I said at the beginning of this video? Everyone misses out on this hello YouTube stuff, right? Because most people come in a little later. So hello YouTube. Thank you, Tiger Fist. So I found myself this particular morning, it was the perfect storm that I'm the only guy in the room on eBay that's buying these things, okay? Because no one had read them, no one knew anything, and there they are. But then I found out, and there's more in the box. I don't even know, but then I found out that there's a retailer variant of this particular comic. Okay, and it was, I think, a one per store. And last time I did the math on it, I think there were 2,300 comic book stores in 2017. I think we researched that for something, but there were about 2,300 comic stores, and any store that ordered, I think you had to order five of them or something, but any store that ordered five, maybe, got a retail variant, or maybe you had to order 10. I don't know. So I don't know how many retailer variants exist. Hey, Matt, nice to see you. But when I found out there were retailer variants, okay, it's a gold foil right here. When I found out there were retailer variants, then of course Silver Age Dave says, well, I got to do that too. And you can see the differences on here. On the retailer variant, you have the standard letter I letterbox up here, and you lose the little distraction down here, and you do end up with the old guard right across there. So I love that. So on top of the number ones, which I don't even know how many I have this stack, which I believe to be almost all mint condition 9.6 or 9.8 of the retailer version. So I was asked earlier, I was asked earlier if I've seen the show, and I have not seen the show. As a lot of people are aware, I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't go see the movies. I don't watch a lot of TV. I did finally watch The Walking Dead, and I love that. I loved. I'm a little darker, I think, in some of the things I watch, but I did watch Breaking Bad, which I loved, and I loved the show Lost. That was a great show, but this was one of those few times where I did, just timing was everything. You know, I could have been busy that morning. I could have been doing something else. And like this one I have marked, it has a little spine tick on it. Okay, so not all of these are perfect, but I try to mark them if there's some type of issue. It was one of those rare times as a collector where I went with my gut and I said, I think this is going to be a big deal somewhere down the road. So there's three more. You guys kind of know what's here, so I don't have to show these. And Bad Avenger and I do something in common is that when we put these in the box, we go back and forth. Okay, so that helps keep the spines in good shape. So that's the old guard story for Regie Collects. Is the Silver Age Dave brain is a odd brain, but in life in general, it's like when I met Mrs. Silver Age Dave, I knew she was the one. I knew she was great. So it was almost a matter of drop everything you're doing and, you know, go after that. And that's how this was for me. I think it's a great story. I think it's great art. And I wish it all the luck in the world in being successful. Hopefully they do a good job with the show. And I've also done other things like this is, I think that, yeah, this is the second print, which I thought was really, really cool. And so, you know, I bought some of those, but I also, at the time, I had a guy who was doing it online. So this is, and I actually never even opened these. That's 20 copies of the second print, and those are just packaged up. I did this with Star Wars: The Force Awakens, where I bought like, I don't know, 50 copies of it. And this is, this is Old Guard number 2, and I think there's some second prints in here. That's a mix of things. But anyway, that's part of uh, that's part of how I collect. I've often said I'm opportunistic as a collector. If there is an opportunity, I'm going to take advantage of it. I think I gave away when I did a few years ago, when I did my 100, 200 subscriber contest. I know I gave Bubs. Bubs was my fifth winner. He was the bonus winner. That was my first live stream. I was so nervous. And I added a fifth winner. So Bubs ended up with a Lazarus 9.8. I'm going to, whoops, that's not doing that wrong. I got to get these gold ones in here. So he ended up with that. And I think Weapon X Squall ended up with a Secret Wars 2 number 8. And I thought I gave away some Old Guard gold foils also to some of the other winners. I remember Nerd versus Fat was one of the winners, and I sadly I forget who the other couple of winners were, but I think I did give away some of them, and that was really exciting times in the world of Silver Age Dave. Just I never expected the channel to turn into anything, or I'm kind of a solo. I have lots of local friends in real life, but I'm kind of a solo guy, at least since I started running these big miles. And so when a whole bunch of people started watching Silver Age Dave videos, I thought to myself, holy moly, that's really crazy. I never expected it. So thank you to those of you who are watching. So anyway, Regie collects. That's the shout out for Regie. Basically, Silver Age Dave is a little insane, but good job picking up on a great comic book and comic spec. I think Old Guard will do really well. Kingdom Comics. Love Kingdom Comics and your channel. Great channel. Great guy. And no, I have not watched it, but at some point, let me put these away. At some point, I am going to watch it. What you have to do with your comic books, all my comic book peeps, is you have to really respect them. I have a lot of kids, and I try to teach them to respect their comic books. And it's really a funny thing because sometimes I'll see just comic books and the covers are just completely read off of them. And I think to myself, I'm going to relax. What that is a sign of, that is a sign that kids love comic books. And if I bring home comic books, I see those comic books going from room to room, from bed to bed, and they are reading them. And in this day and age, when everything is digital, electronic, I'm really proud of that my oldest two kids, they missed out. They really don't like reading comics, but my next four, they are all comic book readers, and they love them. So we can go a couple of directions, okay? And I'll leave it up to you. There's the Comic Tom 101 shouted that out. The same deal I have for Old Guard, how many of them I have, I got the same deal going on with Lazarus 1. I love this series, and I probably have 30 to 50 of them. I would think pretty easy. Thank you, Matt. Really appreciate that. So I can go a couple of directions. I bought something the other day and I showed it, but I wasn't knowledgeable on it. And so do you guys want to see one of my errors, or do you want to see some comics a friend of mine found? He was at a garage sale. He's a picker. I talk about Jason pretty regularly. And he was at a garage sale and he got me a long box and maybe a little more than half of a short box for $50. He called me and I basically negotiated with this guy right over the phone, and it worked out beautifully. So, do you guys want to see my error I had, or do you want to see garage sale pickups? I'm going to take a drink of water, which is a rare thing during a Silver Age Day video. But I'm going to drink this water, and you guys decide amongst yourselves what we're going to do next. And in the meantime, I think I will show. Let me show. I'm going to show something cool. Garage sale, both. All right, I'm going to hold off on the other really cool thing. Let me get this stack of stuff out of the way. Let me do that first. Okay, we'll leave these guys down here and we'll put this here. So I'm drinking lots of water. I have done all of my long mileage training. Last week was a 70-mile week. I had a 48-mile run I did out at a park, very primitive trails, lots of hills, and I mean running through places you couldn't even see your feet. Basically it's trails that no one is really using. Lots of deer flies and mosquitoes, and it was swampy and muddy, and I loved it. 90 plus degrees. So that was my big week. This week is a down week, so I'm drinking lots of water. I'm going to run about 50 miles this week, but it's easy pace. I'm not pushing. I'm running easy terrain. Last night, 10 miles in the rain was beautiful. So I'm going to do the garage stuff first, okay? And I'm going to save the error for another day, but I'll showcase it. And it's not a mistake necessarily, it's an error, okay, that I made. As long as I've been collecting comics, there are things that I just don't know about. And sometimes you want to play with fire, you know? And so I went into a situation where a guy had things, he's got a lot of things. And it's stuff that I'm not familiar with. In fact, I'm going to show two things that are pretty cool. And I can get in a lot of trouble with this guy. He has maybe 1,000 pulps. I did buy 2 of these from him. This is April 19. I don't know if I can find the year on here. Oh, April 1929. Okay, so that is a great looking cover. And this guy has so much cool stuff. Check that out. I mean, he's literally got like 1,000 of these things, and they are not cheap. These are in pretty good condition. This is a July issue, 25-cent cover price. This is July 1930. Okay, and it was hard to walk out with those, in just those. You know, the way I buy things, I like to buy a lot. AB Comics, thank you so much. Nikki Larson, nice to see you. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. I really like to include everybody whenever possible, but I'm going to put these, you know, I'll put these up on the wall because those are cool to look at. I'm covering up the Lone Ranger #1. I'm covering Batman Adventure 12. I'll show Kingdom these Superman cards before I cover them up. Those are really cool. These are, I think, from 1940 Superman gum cards. And I just recently started buying those. This one is a first appearance of Lex Luthor. That's back when he had hair. And it's a cool story about Luthor. So this card came out just shortly after his first appearance in comics. I'll get that real big there. Really cool card. That's number 12, Superman gum. All right, so I won't cover those up because those are just cool. So he had this set of books, which these are called Golden Legacy, and these were developed. I'm going to do a whole video on them, so I'm not going to go into great detail. But these are really cool. They highlight African American history. Okay, great members of African American history. And the guy that I bought these from, his name's Paul. He is collecting a lot of unique things, and he's a super nice guy. And I'm gonna go back and see Paul and buy more stuff from Paul. He thought these were all first printing. So I did a lot of research, and a few of these are first printing. Most of these are going to be reprints. It's a travesty what happened with these books. There'll be more on that later, but I paid a reasonable price for them, even as reprints. And in the most notable in here, I'll show probably the biggest key book is this one here, which is Martin Luther King Jr. It's issue number 13. And what's really neat on here is I have one that's original, one that's a reprint. Okay, and on my video I do on these, I will actually show you so you will be able to tell what the difference is. Okay, very big difference in value between the reprint and the original. All right, so that's the error that I talked about. But let us, I'm going to put these back here. Actually, I'm going to put those over here behind the table, and let's talk garage sale. These are not in any order. These are going to be books. Like I say, my good friend Jason helped negotiate this for me. I don't know how many I'll get through, but there's more than a long box, and I paid $50. Okay, so our first issue we have is number, I wish I had an empty long box because I could be setting them in another box. This is number 382, is Beat as Beat Could Be. It's a 1969 Action Comics. We have, and really they're totally out of order. 307 Hulk. This one looks to be in pretty good shape. There's a mix of condition on these things. We have 379 Incredible Hulk. We have 381. And I don't know how early Jason was. If there was some picking out that happened. This is Man-Thing number 3. I'll bet I've got 5 to 10 copies of this. I don't know why number 3 seems to find me. But that's number 3. It's got some spine ticks, and you know, you can see up here the person probably paid $1, marked it here that it was $16. But that's what happens is, you know, everyone goes through their collection and they think, oh, that's worth, you know, what the book says. Well, it's not worth what the book says. That's an unfortunate fact of life. We've got Doctor Strange number 6, 25-cent cover. We've got Daredevil Fall from Grace finale number 325. We've got 293, 292. What I should probably do is an ongoing series with these because there's so many, and they dip from old to new. One of the issues they have in here, Reaper Tate was just doing a video, and he talked about Scooby-Doo Team Up number 12, and how that was hot for a minute, and then you know, all of a sudden it wasn't hot. What's that? Issue 249 with Wolverine, and sure enough, you know, that one's in there. Captain America Reborn number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and then that's kind of a cool cover. Number 6. Okay, so we got the whole run there. Oh, maybe we got a whole run. There's more of them. Let's see what we got. Oh, yep, that was the whole run of those. I'm going to put those away. We've got Captain America, Who Will Wield the Shield, number 1. We've got issue number 230, 230. We've got, this is an old Daredevil. Now it's beat to heck. He's got $18 on here, and I don't think the Daredevil family carries that kind of weight for a beat up comic. But that's number 63. The Gladiator Goes Wild. And my memory isn't telling me whether that is a first appearance or not. I did not think it was. But again, I get a lot of calls about buying collections, and the most common thing I get is, "Oh, these are worth, that much," or yeah, one that was in really nice shape comparatively probably sold for that, but not this particular one. Um, so we have this one I always like. This is Marvel Comics presents Weapon X number 72. I always like that cover. I don't know why, but I do like that cover. We've got 73, 74, and I don't know how many of these I have because I've got a pretty deep collection. But what is nice is that over the years when I buy a collection, sometimes things will shuffle, and I'll have a couple of them, and then I'll pick up the ones I didn't have, or they'll, maybe a nicer copy. These appear unread, which is nice. They are bagged and boarded. So what'll happen is I'll rebag and board these, and then the old bag and boards will go to my friend Brad at Flotsam, who I hang out with, and so he'll get some free bag and boards to reuse for his comics that he sells. There's number 78. There we have number 79. I don't think this goes on forever, guys. The Weapon X only was a short run in here. There's 80. We have 81. And I don't know if there's any errors or recalled stuff in the Weapon X series. I haven't been really hitting it hard on the Recalled Comics website. I used to really research on there, but a medication I'm on screws with my memory a bit, and I was telling like I'd spend time researching something, the next day I couldn't remember anything. So I figured, well, that's just wasting time a little bit. And there's number 84. Okay, so let me grab another stack out of here. Looks like we're into something else now. We've got one here for Metarog, who is a big fan of the Ghost Rider, and I think, if I remember correctly, Great Legend is a Ben Grimm fan. So we've got the Ghost Rider, and we've got the Thing here in this 2-in-1. That one's kind of cool. I like that. We've got Hulk 346. Like I said, these are mixed up and they are all over the place. We've got number 370. These are all in really nice shape. These are unread. I've got a pretty deep Hulk collection also. So what'll end up happening is I'll rebag and reboard these, and these will get shuffled in. And if these copies are nicer than mine, then I'll make adjustments in the boxes. Let's see. Here we have Hulk 383. We've got, okay, this one goes back just a little. No big keys were in here. This is number 255. When you're buying collections, very, very commonly what happens is they either get cherry picked before you get to them, or the person who is buying the stuff took the low hanging fruit and maybe sold that on eBay, or maybe kept a few of those. What do we got? 297. That's a cool one. Issue number 250 with the Silver Surfer on there. So for $50, I am not complaining. This is a perfect $50 spent. My kids will get some of these to read that are real beat. I will better my collection a little bit, and that's going to be really nice. Here we have Iron Fist number 5. Is that worth $17? Is there something I'm missing? This does have some spine ticks on it. I'm waiting for some deliveries. Potentially, we might have a surprise unboxing. Hey, Metarog's in here. Nice to see you, Metarog, with the blue wrench. Must be automatic. Metarog has the power. He's like He-Man for us right now. So, speaking of He-Man, I showed this the other day that I bought from Flotsam Store. That's a little mini comic, which I apologize. Someone told me this came out of a toy. So when you bought the toy, you got this box or this in the box or in the plastic. So that's a little comic book, and on the back it's got the figures that you can buy. So that's really cool. He's Herog. I like it. There you go. So Roger, we've been going through a lot. Thank you for joining us. Right now we're going through a long box and a half. My friend Jason found at a garage sale, and he called me, and I negotiated right over the phone with the guy. He said they were his son's books, and I got this whole collection for $50. And I call that a good deal. I like it. Hoosier Nerds in here. Nice to see you, Admiral. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well in Indiana. Love Indiana. Great place. So here we go, number 89. Like I said, no major keys in here. So if you're on the edge of your seat, you can just lean back, have a nice cup of coffee, have a soda pop, have a cold beer if you want. That's number 93. We have number 94. Okay. And like I said, the seller probably went through and, and if they had 87 and 98, those, probably found eBay. For all I know, Luther Manning has those. He pressed them and they became 9/8, and he sold them for a nice profit. No one better than Luther Manning, Patrick, and Mike. They do their CGC unboxings, and it's just a great thing to watch. So many power comics that they get and they take care of. So now we're on to Punisher, number 3. All these look unread. Okay, so there's number 10. And I'm not paying attention to, again, errors or variants or, if there's an alternate cover. These are just, books that came my way. Cool cover there. Happy to have them. Happy to add them to the collection. There's number 29. Number 35. He does have a lot of free comic book day stuff, which I love finding free comic book day stuff. I've never had an Umbrella Academy. I'm waiting for the day that one of those comes my direction. This is number 37. Here we got number 38. I typically don't do a lot of raffle type of things like mystery boxes. I did a few for that Spider-Man booth. They worked out okay. I ended up with a reasonable. I don't necessarily think I got my money's worth on it, but it was close enough where it worked out. Well, they got me good. The other day, they started selling a box, and sure enough, Edge of Spider-Verse was the grand prize in there. So I bought a few of those. I saw the Boy Who Had 7 was in there Monday night, and Whodad, I think he's in there every Monday night, and some other community members I think watch on maybe Instagram, but I watch on YouTube. So here we got War Journal number 4. There's number 5. This one, I think, I can't remember. This is Silver Surfer number 34. Nice Thanos cover. And it looks unread. It looks really, really to be in nice shape. And for some reason, I think there was something about that issue that it was a big deal, but I could be wrong. So that one is a nice one. I like the cover. So whether it's worth anything or not, I don't care. I think it's a cool cover. And Silver Surfer, he's not on that many covers. After Comics did a whole thing with all the Silver Surfer appearances, and there's really not that many cover appearances. So there's number 51 again, really cool. And then this one, 90s goodness, issue number 75. All that shiny happiness right there. That gets my attention, right? So we've got that. We've got a Strange Tales number 186. We've got a really, really beat to heck the copy. Fantastic Four number 137. This cover is barely attached, if it's even attached. I would imagine if I took that out of the bag, it would just come out of there. So that'll go to one of the kids probably for reading. We've got 149. Okay, once something is damaged so bad, you can't hurt it really too much more by reading it. So you might as well read it and then put it in the bagging board. At least they get to smell the newsprint, right? So here we got Wolverine number 11. Again, this collection's really all over the place. There's number 12. And then there's number 13. All right. Like I said at the onset, not terribly exciting stuff. But, you know, when you can buy them for $50, that's pretty good. I don't mind picking up stuff when I'm able to get it. Hey, hello, College Jason. There's my friend Jason. Jason is responsible for this collection coming my way. So, Jason, I covered a lot of ground today, but we're just going through the long box that you procured for me for $50. Beautiful. This is Wolverine number 14, number 15, number 16. Jason, why don't you grab 2 beers and come over? Holy moly, that's terrible of you. I don't have any beer, and someone should come bring me a beer. No, don't bring me a beer. I'm in training. I'm not drinking very much at all the last month or so. And I'm really trying to slim down. I've got maybe 15 pounds to lose over the next month. Should not be a big deal. Now that my heavy training is behind me, my body will start losing some of the water. Your muscles retain a lot of water. Your joints retain water to protect them. And so once you go into the taper, your body says, "Oh, okay, I don't need that anymore," and you start losing weight just for the sake of losing, that water weight. So very exciting, but beer takes me the wrong direction. Jason, I had a couple beers the other day. We went out and that he was part of the haul. He actually put two hauls together for me. He was with me. He bought a few of these pulp books himself, and so he introduced me to Paul, where I bought those things. So let's see. These Wolverines aren't too terribly exciting. I've got 45, 46, there's 52, and there's 53. Now, this next issue that I just see here on top, I have a question on because I don't know if I'm familiar with it. This is Planet of the Apes, limited collector's edition. It says number 1 Adventure Comics. Let me pull it out of here. The bag and boards are shot. So this is appearing to me to be unread. Okay. But it's really, really neat. And just like we reminisced earlier, the guys that grew up with Star Wars when it originally came out, I'm the generation that I grew up watching Planet of the Apes. This is April of 1990, which we could have guessed from the shininess. I don't think I've seen one of these before. Writer Charles Marshall. There's a little thing in here. Looks like a remake maybe of Logan's Run. Adventure Comics was going to do something on that. Anyway, if you've seen it before, maybe you're familiar with it. I'm not familiar with it. But it's cool. I'm happy to have it. There you go. Oh, okay. Yeah, there were a couple good things in here. This is a Spawn number 1. And I don't know how many of these I have. They're, 50 cent bin for a long time. But, it's nice to see. It looks to be in good condition. We've got a Spawn number 2. Right there. And then we have a Spawn number 4. And if memory serves me, there's maybe a poster deal was on this. I don't remember issue number 4 if it had a poster or what the deal was. First printing September 1992. Address redemption form. So there's a coupon. How to get a copy of Image Comics number 0. I don't see a poster, so maybe I was wrong about that. By the time this came out, I was in the college portion of my life, which wasn't a heavy collecting time. Bronze Age John is in here. Hey, if I recall, I think Bronze Age John is a local guy for Silver Age Dave. I think you're a Toledo guy, if my memory serves me right. So we've got a beat copy. This is a great reader copy of Batman Family number 1. All right. Nice to see that. I don't know what it's worth. It's pretty beat, but happy to have it. And there's Batman Family Giant number 14. Oh, and this was neat. I've got a bunch of these, but it was nice to see them together. These are Untold Legends of the Batman number 1, 2, and 3 all together in one group. And so those look to be in good condition. And these came out of cereal. I think those came out of cereal boxes. And guys, I don't know. We've been going an hour. There are some X-Men books coming up in here and some X Factor and stuff. Do you guys want me to keep going with this? Or should I stop my video? Or should I move on to something else? What do you guys want me to do? You tell me. And I could go whatever direction. I'm going to take a sip of water, though, out of my big mug of water. For all you guys know, that could be gin in there. But I would tell you if it was gin. I am a truthful Silver Age Dave. So let me know what you want me to do. I'm just going to pull a couple things off the wall. This I picked up a while back. I showed off. Very excited to have. It's a beautiful near mint copy of Secrets Behind the Comics, Stan Lee, 1947. And I will never again open it and take it out of there. So one of my videos had me flipping through it, but it was really, really cool. It had a, in here they've got a description of the Captain America creation, which was really cool. They had a profile of Sid Shores, which was really cool. And just an altogether really interesting book. But that's a first printing of a nice piece of comic history. Very excited to have that. Keep going. Just joined, so I say go on. Okay, well I'll keep going, and I don't know how exciting, but I am gonna move quickly. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna skip a little bit. There's a couple of these Golden Age books that were in there, but I'm gonna skip a couple of things that are, oh, darn it. Yeah, he had 2 of these first prints. The first Doomsday, and those were nice to see. I think these were hot for a while and kind of fell off, so not as exciting as what they maybe were. He's got a Marvel Age in here, number 57, and I didn't know this this costume, if anything happened with that. This is a beat red copy of Marvel Age. Some people collect these. I have a few of them. I used to have a lot, and I don't know where they are. I must have misplaced them. But I don't know if those are anything anymore. Hey, Jim Bowers is in here. Nice to see you, Jim. Thank you so much. Silver Age 66. I want to see the X-Men, please. And Kevin Taylor, gotta go. Dinner's ready. Thank you so much, Kevin Taylor. Yeah, and here's another one of those Golden Age, okay, which are cool. These look unread, and just cool to find stuff like that. Uh, let's see what we have here. Oh, this place is probably out of business. Double play cards and comics, Star Avenue, Toledo, Ohio. Maybe Bronze Age John would know, but I don't think that place has been in business in a long time. Right, so I am skipping ahead. Not a lot of books, just a few books. And there's not a lot of X-Men, but there's a little bit of X-Men, and then maybe I'll stop there. I mentioned this book. Let me see here if I can find it. I mentioned this book. Reaper Tate just talked about it. Now this is a red copy, but that Scooby-Doo team up number 12 that had Poison Ivy and it had Harley Quinn on it, and everyone was specking thinking it was going to be a big deal, but it's probably more of a dollar bin box. I just found it, interesting that Reaper Tate would talk about it, and sure enough, today I look in there and there it is. So, okay, so we're gonna do pleasing the crowd time, and I just bumped ahead to, I think, the only section of X-Men that are in here. Yeah, so we'll skip ahead. Now these first ones, these are X Factor 43. There's 44. And these are all, I would say, unread. So these were just bought and put in a box. So maybe he wasn't a big fan of X Factor. There's number 46. There's number 47. And maybe he kept some of the earlier stuff. I don't know. There's 48. We've got 49. We've got an X-Force number 5 that found its way in there. There's number 50. We've got an X-Force number 2. We've got an X-Force number 3. Oh, this one found its way in. Is beat to heck. Cover rips everywhere. I'm going to take it out just so. This one is kind of cool. It's X-Men number 70, but it is trashed. And so this is falling into the reprints area. And, so they weren't doing original stories at this point. But we've got number 70. And you can see on the cover here, pretty bad tears and rips and creases and color break, everything. But still, here it looks like someone was walking across it on this page. I don't know what happened to this comic book. Look at the footprints really all through there. But still, it's still a piece of comic history, so I am very happy. I will get it rebagged and boarded and added in. So that was kind of a neat one. Nothing else in here is going to be in that type of age. This is X-Men number 186. We've got X-Men number 194. Yeah, there were footprints on there, Popesy. Thank you for joining us. This is number 204. I think they look like footprints. That's what it looked like to me anyway. We've got 206. This is a nice one. We've got issue number 244. And this one looks to be in nice shape. So like I said, no major keys. A couple books here and there that kind of jump out. This one looks really, really nice. I took that out of the bag. There's maybe a tick or two on it, but corners look okay. So this would be in the 9+, I would think. Got our Schwinn ad back there. Page quality looks pretty good. Look at that old time Stan on there. 2 exclusive videos and a limited edition poster. I wonder if anyone in here had that stuff. Anyone sent away. This one, the coupon's intact. Comic book convention schedule right here. Boston, Massachusetts, Philadelphia, New York, New Jersey. All the schedule in there. And let's see when is this? 19, boy, my eyesight's so bad. Maybe 1989 is what it says. Anyway, so that one was a nice one. We'll put that on the stack. And I don't know what that goes for, but I think that one's worth the price of admission probably. I'll probably put a Mylar on that. Okay. So we'll put that one back in there. Then we have 248. We have number 255. I have, let me see how many X-Men long boxes I have. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 long boxes of X-Men. So it's one of those things. Yeah, that's right. Jim Lee on X-Men. I think first Jim Lee, was that the one? I think you're right about that. That kind of slipped my mind. There's 257. When I buy collections, it's very common for them to be some X-Men in them. So over the years, while I was not a big X-Men reader myself, over the years, lots of X-Men stuff has come my way in little bits and pieces, kind of like this. So there's number 258. And in the world of Silver Age Dave, like you saw in the beginning of the video, those of you that were with us, then, hey, is that Bub's Comics in here? I did a Bub's Comics. I was showing these off, which Alex the Comic Hoarder bought some of these. These are Walmart packs. And then Southern Comic Geek ended up getting a couple of them. Well, the other day I was in Walmart, and that was my cover, was the Art Germ. And I was commenting for Bubs how nice a job he did on that lasso. Look at the lasso, the fine detail on that lasso on that cover, Bubs. Can you believe that? Now that's high quality lasso drawing. There you go. Always love when Bubs Comics can be part of the chat here. We've got 259. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give... There you go. We have... Did I say 259? I think I did. So basically this whole long box and a half, I negotiated right with the guy through my friend Jason's phone. Are you close to owning all the comics in Ohio? I'm halfway there, Jim Bowers. I was sharing, I was in the chat for a Keep It Thorough auction the other night. I bought a really cool book that's on its way to me. But I told them that there's plenty of room in every city in the country for multiple collectors, except Toledo. Toledo's closed. Yeah, you know, things come my way. But that being said, I am a small player. You know, there are other people that collect. There's people that flip books. This is kind of a good one. X-Men Annual number 14. And I can't remember what was important about this. Maybe X Factor appearance, but I think this was something that was important. I've got to look them up. I really haven't researched all these. Oh, First Gambit. Yeah. That's you're right, Pope C. Hey, Ghost Maker 73. Good morning. Nice to see you. Yes. So, this is the scene is the First Gambit, but this has, is it what, like 5 pages, or it's got a cameo or something, and some people say this is the first appearance, but this is the one that really counts. I just happen to have that up here. Hey, you know what I have up here? I got this, which for no reason. I just think is a cool cover. I at some point I must have had go-go checks gracing the rack. So there's that. And I'm gonna cover that back up. So yeah, thank you for that. For that heads up on there, Pope C. In that one, Ahab is hinted to be Cable. That was before Cable. Okay, all right. So there you go. So that was another neat one. And then we move, I think, to the is this volume 2 X-Men? I think it's volume 2. There's number 8 and number 17. And then we've got number 18. Oh, and 19. I was trying to hide back there. Maybe I'll wrap it up. There's a few flash books and there's a few other things, but maybe I'll save the rest of this stuff for another video. So we got 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. And that is a long Silver Age Day video. Guys, I generally don't roll that long on Silver Age Day videos, but I guess today was a day to go a little bit longer. And I've really enjoyed having so many people spend a little time with me. I was hoping to get a delivery. I was hoping the post office would show up. The post office actually skipped me yesterday. Okay, they didn't come. I don't know if they were sick or they didn't like me enough to deliver a package, but I was supposed to get a package yesterday, an eBay purchase, and they didn't come. So I'm going to be patient and kind. And I just assume something bad happened. Hopefully, everything's good on the end of the post office. So that's it, guys. I am gonna end it there. We saw some cool stuff. You see how I collect, which is a crazy way of collecting, and I really appreciate you guys. So today is a day of rest for me. Tomorrow I'm gonna do a 16 miler, and then what's tomorrow? Thursday. Yeah, Thursday I'm going to do 16 miles. Friday I do 10 miles, and then I have another day of rest. And then next week starts another easy week of running. So that's all. That's the whole world. What's happening in Silver Age Dave Land. I'll have maybe a few more videos coming out, some other things. I wish you the best. Be awesome, everyone. Smile a lot. Be kind. The world is so cruel right now. There's a lot of meanness. And I think what's happening is I think a lot of people are getting riled up with how bad things are. But if you smile and just find the good things, there's so much good out there. And you take a deep breath and everything's going to be okay. That's what I think anyway. Guys, Silver Age Dave is out.